Okay, he's back for his second season. Jess Crow is with Sohail Tanvir.
That's right, I'm joined here at the boundary by Sohail. Sohail, the team are 45 to 3. That's big performance.
The pitch looks on the slow side. It's gripping, so cause to lose. But I think if we manage to score around 150, it's going to be a good fight. I mean, you need something to fight on. You know, we saw the game last night. I mean, it was close. We managed to score 145. So yes, right now we're not in a good position, but we'll try to finish around 140 mark.
Of course, taking a crucial wicket last match yourself. How did you find the wickets playing?
I think better than last year. I was very honest. I mean, they left a bit of grass on it. I mean, it's not lively green grass, but still it's hold the pitch together. So there's not much turn this time. I mean, last year it was turning, square turning, and it was difficult for the batters. But this time around, I think it's good pitch to bat on, and if you're a smart bowler, you can on the pitch.
Of course. And now, you know, you play cricket all over the world, but how was it playing cricket here in Nepal?
Well, obviously, what makes Nepal different than other countries is just the craze of people. I mean, they're so passionate about cricket, and they follow cricket wherever the Nepal team goes. I've seen the clips. I mean, I've seen the clips wherever their team go. Even remember when they were playing in World Cup in USA, there was a huge crowd, you know, and then there was a tournament in Australia in August, and the fan following is everywhere. So, you know, I mean, when you as a player, when you see jam-packed crowd, I mean, that turns you on.
That was my next question. What's it like playing, you know, in front of this huge crowd, always making noise? Is it good, you know, energy for you out there?
Well, obviously, it depends. I mean, some players takes energy out of it, and some players, you know, go back into the shell. So it depends on the individual.
Well, all the best for the next innings.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Great to hear those thoughts from Sohail Tanvir raving about that Nepal crowd at the T20 World Cup last year. That was in Dallas in Texas. It was a sea of blue and red across the Grand Prairie Stadium. And I did meet Sohail Tanvir the other day. I said, Sohail, you're not allowed to retire as long as we want you to keep coming. He said, I'll keep coming back. I love it here in Nepal. Really good over that from Sharmala. As we heard the thoughts of Sohail Tanvir, just 3 singles from him. It's 48 for 3.
India's won the first test to remind everyone why they are the world test champions.
South Africa 1-0.
But India is ready to level the pace and prove why it is the bounty. RTFC First Bank, India versus South Africa. Second test starts 22nd November. This broadcast is brought to you in association with Vimal Elaichi.
Well, difficult going thus far. But at least they're only 3 down, the Rhinos, and still safe to come. Remember, Zaid opened the batting last year for the Super Royals. Been asked to play this new role down the order. Here's Darcy Short, who starts well with the perfect leg break. Probably does a bit too much though. No real appeal. He's a talented wrist spinner, this man.
Well, every time the ball is pitched up, Ravi Bopara has been in trouble. And when it turns a little, he gets deeper in trouble. So right now, the Rhinos are staring down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And if they don't want to go deeper into that, it's up to these 2 gentlemen out there, Bopara and Kushal, to take them out of that rut.
Like every good Australian wrist spinner, 23 on the back, of course. A tribute to the late, great Shane Keith Warren. Don't visit a day goes by in cricket. We don't think about the king himself and how his team is.
Well, I thought they retired that number, hadn't they?
I think for Australia, for the national team, yes. A little tribute from Darcy Short to Shane Warne. Of course, the Ashes just around the corner. Looking forward to taking in the action of that.
Absolutely. Just waiting for it to start. And then we have the India-South Africa test match starting as well.
Who do you fancy for the Ashes? Which are the 2 teams?
Well, they're playing at home. Well, the heart says England, but the head says Australia. So I think I'll go with the Thunder from down under.
I love the fact that every single Ashes series, whatever happens, Glenn McGrath just predicts 5-0. It's kind of part of the whole narrative of each build up.
It's much like the way the 50 coming up. It's much like the way any Indian would when India play a series at home.
South Africa rather humbled. The Indian side on home soil there at Eden Gardens, 1-0 in the series. I wish that was 3 test matches. Googly to the back of the hand, so trying to go across the right hand. A really good over from Darcy Short. His all-round skills will be big for the Lions this season, you feel. He started well. Rhinos, they're rebuilding. They're not necessarily doing it as quick as they need to. It's the halfway stage of the first innings. It's time for the players to take a drink. The score is 51-3.
Proteas won the first test to remind everyone why they are the world test champions.
South Africa 1-0.
But India is ready to level the series and prove why it is the county. RTFC first back, India versus South Africa. Second test starts 22nd November.
This broadcast is brought to you in association with Vimal Ilaichi. These stalwarts, these pillars. Buckle down for bigger challenges ahead.
South Africa, यानी फाइबर के पावर हिटर हो गया. हम भी बढ़ाएंगे अपना बैटिंग पावर.
अरे फेंको ये बैट क्या बोला ना
हाय बॉल.
इंडिया का नया स्टाइल fearless batting full hitting
Skyball चलेगा, सबका टाइम बजेगा. RTFC first back, India versus South Africa. First T20I, 9th December at 6 p.m.
तेरा नाम क्या है? पूछे वाले पूछे तो बता तेरी पहचान क्या है?
Tata Biggest Premier League coming soon on Jio Hotstar and Star Sports Network.
After a tough setback, Team India are ready to roll back into form.
It's India versus South Africa.
Can they stop the fiery Proteas in their tracks? RTFC first bank, India versus South Africa. First ODI, 30th November.
We're coming to you live from the Tripoli University International Cricket Stadium. As always, a lot of colour, vibe, energy in this part of the world. NPL Season 2 is underway, and they're really enjoying every bit of it. Lumabni Lions right on top, and their fans are quite certainly celebrating for some bit of it.
Absolutely. And coming in really to support their respective sides. They're the Rhinos. And so what happened, first ball duck for Tabit Khan. And this was a rush of blood. Deepak departed, and then they were in a bit of trouble. But there was a third one to go. Dave Canal bowled out the man at Cow Corner. And 51 for 3. Their main batsman out there. Ravi Bopala, 21 of 25. He's just biding his time. He's priming himself for another good innings.
It's been an age-old story, Puzzle. Heavy lifting is done by Bopara and a couple of other batters in the middle order. Good enough for Rhinos. They have Saif Ali Zain, but last year, distinctly the number. Bopara is coming and risking his team every now and then.
In a spot of bother. So mentally, Bopara is already on the back foot, considering that the pitch is really good. The off ball is turning a little. The fourth place is a little drier than it was the last couple of days. So it's just going to get a little slower here. You want to make him come forward. You want to make him drive down the ground. Hit the six, over, long off, and long on. And just take a look at that. Every time it is pitch short, he's been in control.
So they're just taking a just getting too full in that delivery of it. And that's why he's just trying to keep it slightly back of the length and invariably ending up bowling in that.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Mikhail. You're absolutely right with that. That's why the captain comes and plays a role. Give the confidence to the youngster. There it is once again. When you pitch it up, the batsman is circumspect. But when you pitch it short, it gives a lot of time to rock back and play him through the offside. And that's where Bupara is scoring over someone like a Shermala. That's the illustration again. The minute you pitch short, it becomes really easy because it's not quick this wicket. It comes slow off the wicket. It gives the batsman ample time to rock back and decide where he wants to play, to the left of cover or to the right of cover. And there it is. You can see that he's a little circumspect once the ball is pitched up.
Trying to pick his spot, throw at the bowler's end, he'll get there comfortably and keep strike as well. Ravi Bopara. 11 gone, 56 for 3.
तेरा नाम क्या है पूछने वाले पूछे तो बता तेरी पहचान क्या है
coming soon on Jio Hotstar and Star Sports Network.
Scenic Nepal. Quality cricket. Having a mix of everything. A bit of a misfield there will allow the batters to come back for the second. Bopara will keep strike. Just a bit of a concern here. Fazal, a bit of a hustle in that batting process. They've had 32 dots.
Yes, I think Ravi Bopara has kind of analyzed the pitch. In his mind, he knows what the score is that he's looking for after 20 overs. To get that score, he needs to be there till the end of those 20 overs, Mikhail, because the pitch is not like the ones we've played on. It's very slow. It's turning a little. So 180, 175 is out of the question. Now we're looking at 9 runs and over from here. We get them to 137. I think anywhere between 137 and 150 will be a really good score on this pitch. It's not going to be easy. Even at 140, it's not going to be easy to chase on this pitch unless the dew plays a factor, which we haven't seen in the last couple of games.
Good point. 147 was defended by Sikram Royals last night, which means the dew factor didn't really have an effect on the fielding side when they were defending a total. High point for the Lions that in the 12 overs they've used 6 bowlers already, so they have a lot of depth and options here.
There, once again, you see Ravi Bopara at 6s and 7s when you pitch the ball up. And that's where short needs to be. Just outside that off stump, make him drive forward, and that's where he's a little circumspect. That was the wrong run, the one that went the other way. This will come back into him. As soon as you pitch short, he's comfortable on that back foot.
I think not a bad time for Rohit Patel to attack. Maybe bring in a slip for a dusty shot.
Well, oh, gorgeous, isn't it? Just take a look at that shot. Drone showing you this magnificent ground. The TU International Cricket Ground wasn't like this 12 months ago. I was told, Mikhail, you were here. Now they've really done well. Fetching that from outside the off stump. That'll go all the way. A release shot, breaking the shackles. Kushal Malla, the skipper. 76s for the tournament so far. End of the over, 67 for 3.
ODI's won the first test to remind everyone why they are the world test champions.
South Africa 1-0
But India is ready to level the series. And prove why it is the bounty. RTFC first back, India versus South Africa. Second test starts 22nd November.
This broadcast is brought to you in association with Vimal Elaichi.
Yeah, good boundary coming off that last delivery on the last over. Back line, Bopara is holding forward. Well, have decided that he'll shift gears. Who's in the driver's seat at the moment? I just wonder.
Well, it's hanging in the balance at the moment. What they do from here on, both the sides will determine the fate of the game. believe that he will get them to that score of 140 or 145, which in my opinion is far for this pitch today, unless again the dew comes into play, which we haven't seen in the last 3 days. But if they can get Ravi Bopara out now, then the Lions will certainly be back in it, because they have to score every run. A run conceded is a run that needs to be scored.
I reckon this is an event over. Sparrows that been put down. Sher Mullah, his reaction tells the story. You need to take these catches of your own goal.
Yes, I don't think he was really expecting it. The skipper won't be a happy man. With Podal, just hitting it back off. That's an absolute clanger. He's dropped the lollipop, Mikhail. You would have taken that with your eyes closed.
One-handed puzzle.
And eyes closed.
Another one I'll have to go through. Sher Mullah needs to keep it tight.
There you see once again, just coming on to him a little quicker than he expected. Perhaps he didn't expect it to come to him. That was the key thing. But this man on your screen holds the key for the Rhinos. We saw him get that 50 in the first game. Oh, that was just too close and too full to cut.
Yeah, there it is. Duty. Momola and Jeko, Nepal's fastest rookie. Segment range ground. Spare time, a top safety features of really enjoying our drives all around Nepal, particularly from the hotel to the ground. Oh, that's chipped in there. That'll be safe. Works through for the field and the deep. Does exceptionally well to keep it in play. They'll get 2 runs here. The Rhinos.
End of the over, 13 done.
Stalwarts, these pillars.
Buckle down for bigger challenges ahead.
Well, as this game is progressing, the seats are filling in as well. Great atmosphere. It's a sea of color. The Chitawan University International Cricket Stadium. Rohit Paudel, the Nepal captain, has a lot of admirers and fan base. Lumabni into the attack. Oh, they're pushing for 2. 1 for the short, 1 for the throw.
Well, they've done a good job right now. 29 of 34. I love those. I really do. Dhaka Topis. Andrew Leonard was kind enough to give me one. And take a look at that. The Chobar Hills. How good is that? That's in the background. And as you come towards the foreground, you have this magnificent Chitawan University and this international ground there. Fabulous visuals there. Thank you to some great camera work.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. Scenic, beautiful, treasure trove, great destinations. If you're an adventure freak, be it the culture, be it the heritage, Nepal welcomes you with open arms. Love coming over here, Faisal, and I'm sure you're enjoying every day of your stay over here.
Well, absolutely. Every Nepali will be proud of what you're seeing on the screen and what's happening on the ground. Really big moment. And that's a big moment for the Chitawan Rhinos. Bopara now turning on the 89-94s. And a little smile from her would really add to the flavor of the evening. There it is, just rocking back. He's really good on anything pitch shot, back the hands to a delivery there. Pick the gap to perfection. Real precision play by Bopara. He's assessed the situation really well. He's assessed the pitch really well, and he knows exactly what this pitch needs in terms of runs.
You spoke about the Nepal cricket fan, the pride over their cricket, they're emotional about their cricket, and they're well informed as well. I see a lot of handles on Twitter, Facebook pages. They have some great discussions. The
finished the pre-show, and then we were coming back into the commentary box, and he seemed to be a couple of runs, and Andrew Leonard seemed to have a huge fan base here. Everyone was asking him to, come there, shake his hands, take a photograph, and he was so kind enough to acknowledge everyone and keep every one of those fans happy. Really warm people here in Nepal. Manas Karka, the secretary of the Nepal Cricket Association, was really proud and happy man to just see this crowd in the middle of the week.
Could over this for a chicken rhinos. 9 coming off it. It's 80 for 3.
First test to remind everyone why they are the world test champions.
South Africa 1-0.
But India is ready to level the series. And while it is difficulty. RTFC first back, India versus South Africa. Second test starts 22nd November.
This broadcast is brought to you in association with Vimal Elaichi.
Well, I really like these, Mikhail. Need to get a couple more before I go back to Bangalore in India. Get those Dhaka topis. It's the pride of Nepal, isn't it? Just take a look at that. It adds to the flavor, adds to the character. What a place this Nepal. Kathmandu has really treated us well. Looking forward to coming here season after season.
Good start to the good running here. They'll have to really shift gears. Something has to give now for the Rhinos. They've been quiet for a very long time. Just the 2 6s and 5 4s. And we're into the 15th over for some.
Well, it's 7 and over, they'll get 122. They need a little more than that. So perhaps this is the time when Ravi Bopara will be looking to break the shackles. Probably between 15 and 20. There it is. Missed out opportunity. Every time the bowlers have bowled short, he's been fierce on them. Missing out at the opportunity on this occasion is Ravi Bopara. He's taken his time, 37 or 40, so he needs to finish off well. They'll be anxious, but they know what the pitch is playing like. So I still feel 140 to 145 will be par on this pitch, Mikhail. We did see HT mentioning that it is a little dry in nature, and I get the feeling that he was absolutely spot on because the ball seems to be gripping a little, turning a little, and that makes it really difficult when you're chasing a score down. We saw 147 being defended yesterday, so no reason why it can't be done again this evening.
Yeah, spirited Super Question Royals last evening. They were just spectacular in the field. I really want to believe Malla is the more attacking option over here, but Bopara may just be thinking that I'll have to take matter into my own hands now. This is not really going to help the Rhinos.
The Lions will be happy. 41 or 44, the partnership. They've got things under control, so they recognize as well. If you see the way they've been bowling the spinners through the main and middle part of the innings. So they recognize that pace off the ball is the way to go on this pitch.
Nicely cut away. They'll have to come back for the second, and they'll do that. But still, the runs, the big hits are missing here for the Rhinos. 6 coming off over number 15. Expect some big hitting in the remaining 5. It's 86 for 3.
After a tough setback, Team India are ready to roll back into form.
It's India versus South Africa.
Can they stop the fiery Proteas in their tracks? RGFC First Bank India versus South Africa. First ODI, 30th November.
Real building blocks here for the Rhinos. Can they explode in the final 5 and drive up towards maybe 140, 150? We're going to have to go at double digits. I need more than 10 runs per over. Mr. Guide is there to cheer his side on. What can the Rhinos surge up to? A stampede of runs here as Trumpleman returns for his third over. Big Namibian. Do this often in his second spell, come around the wicket to the right-handers. Andrew Leonard here with you. Delighted to have HT Ackerman alongside me. Just the one stint for us today, HT. This could be a good one though. I reckon the Lions, even though they played very well, could be on the back end of some big hitting now in the last 5.
Well, I think they need some fireworks. I know there's a little bit of turn in the surface, but when you're in that region of that 130 mark, it doesn't put enough pressure on the chasing side.
Into the leg side, fielder there, straight to him. And for the second time in 2 games, he's been dismissed, trying to take on a quick caught in the deep. Ruben Trumpleman, brilliant start to his NPL career. A very shrewd side for the Lumabni Lions.
He's a very powerful striker of the ball, Kushal Mala. But this one doesn't find the middle of the bat, finds that man in the deep. I mean, he didn't have to move an inch. Sort of cut up ball into the surface, which just stops it. So the skipper, when he goes for 21, the Rhinos 87 for 4.
Super Saturday is the talk. Everybody being asked to come along in the national headwear. Safe save in this new role. He opened the Super Machine Royals last year, down at number 6, player of the tournament, player of the season last year. Difficult position to come in. The Lions have bowled and generally, with the exception of that one drop, fielded really well. This is why he's here.
Yeah, just because middle order is being put under tremendous pressure because of what's happening at the top at the moment. I mean, I know they've got some good players at the top, but they just haven't fired yet. So when you walk to the wicket in positions 4, 5, and 6, you just feel as though you're behind the 8 ball.
That young man loving every second in the crowd, isn't he? Great to see the passion. That's a very good cricket shot. Race to the rope, just one bounce and 4. Gave Trumpleman the charge. Got it intentionally up and over Darcy short and backward point. Starts with a boundary.
He's very aware of where the boundary riders are, safe save. He uses the pace that Trumpleman gives him.
This man is an exceptionally good cricketer, I have to say. And I think he's approaching the peak of his career. From talking to Ravi Bavara just a few days ago after his player of the match performance, he thinks the world of young safe save. One more toying with Trumpleman now. First one through the offside, this one through the leg.
Well, his introduction to the crease has signalled the intent now that the Rhinos are going to get a move on. Again, inventive. He's got all the authentic cricket strokes. He's got a little bit of invention as well.
Was deep in the crease this time intentionally to try and pick up the pull shot, but just kept maybe a fraction low. End of the 16th, it is a wicket taking over, 95 for 4.
Proteas won the first test to remind everyone why they are the world test champions.
South Africa 1-0.
India versus South Africa. Second test starts 22nd November.
This broadcast is brought to you in association with Vimal Elaichi.
Right, really building up now. That festival atmosphere we're going to see every day of this Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League is very much in town again. Just match day 4. Feels like we've been here for weeks actually already. So Para goes down the ground. Gone all the way. 100 comes up in real style. Darcy Short just floating that wrist spin out from Para. He's going to start to go through the gears now.
He's too full from short. Anything in that region, he's going to go straight down the ground. If these two are here at the 20 over mark, at the conclusion of the innings, I'll tell you what, they'll be near that 150 mark comfortably. That's how dangerous they are. But for the Lions, if they can knock one over and open up an end, I know there's still some batting to come, but they'll almost feel, hang on, 130, 135 is on for us to chase.
Arjun Saud is being asked to perform a role he's not used to. He always opens the batting, being used down at number 7. Sohail Tanvir and Kamal Singh Airi, and indeed the one change to the side, Amar Singh Ratana, all capable with the bat. But this is the critical partnership for the 5th wicket. Ball there to Ravi Bapara. It's 50, and it comes up in the grandest of styles, the second maximum of the over. This man, he is like a fine wine. He's getting better and better with age.
JJ Smith is only bowled for 1 over. So he's not going to bowl his allocated 4. Darcy Short is a batter that bowls. He's handy. But now this is his 4th over, and it's catching up with him because we've seen the ball over pitched. It's far too full from short.
We just saw Rohit Patel come across from actually cover his fielding position to Darcy Short. It's always easy in hindsight, comments like this. It was an over too many, wasn't it? Even if he gets a big wicket here, he had those overs up his sleeve. JJ Smith of Gulbin Naib, and one still more from Ruben Trumpelman. Such a difficult art, isn't it, captaining in T20 cricket? You need to always stay ahead of the game. You can just see here, there's going to be wasted resources from JJ Smith, who does bowl at the death for Namibia. Gets away with it. Definitely bowled into the surface intentionally, maybe what the captain instructed him to do.
If you're going to make a mistake, I think you've got to make it on the short side. If you can hit over square leg for 6 or over point for 6, fair enough, but you cannot afford to be right underneath the batter's nose.
Oh dear. That is a googly gone wrong, and it's going to go many a mile up into the stands. This partnership is changing the game, and the Rhinos coming very much back into the picture. The over's gone for 21. It's 116.
South Africa, yani cyber ki power Indonesia. How are we buying up batting power? What? Stop that!
अरे फेंको ये मैच स्काई बॉल है ना स्काई बॉल टीम इंडिया का नया स्टाइल fearless बैटिंग फुल हिटिंग
Sky ball चलेगा, सबका टाइम बजेगा. ITFC First Bank India versus South Africa. First T20I, 9th December at 6 p.m.
Biggest over the innings. Just a slight tactical misstep, you would have to say. I know it's easy in hindsight. Darcy Short had bowled 3 overs for 20. They'll finish with the figures of 4 overs, none for 41. And that last ball, well, it was a bit of a horror show. Reminds me of me at my peak. Hammered into the leg side. Good piece of fielding. Excellent from the skipper, who saves 2 runs. promise you one thing, HD. I bowled thousands of these in my career.
Just wondering how close that was to a no ball from the waist high. It was bad enough. Didn't have to bowl another one. And Gulbadi Naib won't bowl many Yorkers. He's more he bowls up the back of the hand and some cutters. That's what he tends to do at the death more often than not.
The thing was in Irish cricket when you bowl some of them more often than not deep square leg or deep wicket ended up underneath it. It said wicket in the book.
And sometimes for the wrist spinners, they bowl great ball after great ball, miss the outside edge, miss the inside edge, so they almost deserve their wicket off a full toss.
Pulled away into the gap. Not going to be with enough power to get to the rope. This partnership is changing the game. You can feel the momentum shift right now. Shades of yesterday's clash with the impact that Harmeet Singh had for the Royals.
You keep glancing at our little screen here with the mini bowling card, and Abhishesh 2 for 15 in 3. JJ Smith's going to end up bowling only 2 overs if he bowls the last over, because you would think that Gulbadi Naib will bowl the last one from the current end that he's bowling at. So yeah, the Darcy short over.
Then he goes pace on. He thinks this one is out. Is there a tickle? No, says the umpire. The umpiring was really under the microscope yesterday. It was a tough evening for the men in black. I didn't hear anything in my ear. Was there a feather of an edge?
The old creaky bat handle. Don't hear anything. Keeper wasn't convinced either.
Well, we all know about Gulbadi Naib's acting skills, of course, for those who remember. Through the offside, it'll be a challenge for JJ Smith right in front of our commentary position. Oh, they've nearly collided, the two batters, but they will get home for 2. I greeted the Lions on the outfield, particularly Trumpleman and JJ Smith, 2 guys I know very well. And Gulbadi Naib, I do a lot of Afghan cricket, so I know him pretty well too. He looked at me and he said, "You see that hole in your commentary window? I will hit a bigger one in there."
If JJ Smith gets hold of it, the commentary position is not under threat. It'll fly over here. He hits the ball a very, very long way.
One of the great taglines in world cricket: Smith can hit. And Ravi Bopara hit just enough. It sums up the way that Bopara's 2025 is going. Everything going his way. Great effort from Sandeep Jora at long on. He needed to be 6 or 8 inches taller.
How often can Ravi Bopara do this for the Rhinos? 18 gone, 128 for 4.
तेरा नाम क्या है पूछने वाले पूछे तो बता तेरी पहचान क्या है
Tata Women's Premier League coming soon on Jio Hotstar and Star Sports Network.
South Africa यानी फाइबर की पावर इंटरेस्ट हो गया हम भी बढ़ाएंगे अपना बैटिंग पावर
अरे देखो ये मैच क्या बोले ना अरे बॉल टीम इंडिया का नया स्टाइल fearless batting full hitting
Sky Ball चलेगा सबका टाइम बजेगा on TFC First Bank England versus South Africa first T20I 9th December at 6 p.m.
Old habits. Some thoughts of bad times last year for the Lumabni Lions. I know they've got new players in coming back to haunt them. Big final 2 overs these. Trumpleman for me has been the pick of the bowlers with his 2 for 16 alongside young Abhishesh who's got 2 for 15. This is an important over, this one. Sliced away and taken. Oh, excellent catch. It's Rowan Powell. He is a quite magnificent fielder. And we're going to see brilliant fielding throughout this MPL. One of the highlight moments thus far. It goes to the captain of the national team and the captain of the Lions.
How do you turn a game in your favour? You take a catch like that. The composure to just knock it up in the air to give Trimpleman another one. That is a spectacular catch from the captain. Safe save goes for 15. He doesn't often fail. It's 128 for 5.
Here comes a man full of charisma, the diminutive figure of Arjun Saud. He's had a tricky 18 months, to be honest. Was given lots of opportunity for the national side up at the top of the order. And Monty Desai, in particular, thinks a lot of this young man, former national team head coach. But those opportunities have gone out the window. He needs a big NPL to get himself back into the mix. He's doing it in the most difficult of positions, down at number 7. Starts brightly. That'll hit the boundary rope in a flash. It's a shot he always likes, the cut shot, Arjun Saud. It's a good way to make an impression down at number 7.
From around the wicket, this is the last place that Trumpleman wants to be hit. Behind point. Normally you're cramming the right-hander for room, but there's plenty of wrist work there in that stroke. Does exceptionally well to get the ball down to deep point for 4. The perfect start for Saud.
Well bowled. Forced into the block hole. We haven't seen a world-class spectacular catch in the first 3 days of the Nepal Premier League. I think we've just seen one. Rohit Paudel, for me, one of the top 3 fielders in the country, probably one of the top 5 in this league. Sensational.
You can think of many who would have been doing somersaults after taking this, but Powell just gently throws it back to the umpire. That is a great catch. Made look very easy.
Great diving stop. Excellent. Gulbin Nabe. He saved 3 runs. Misses the block hole. Yeah, the brilliance of this catch for me, HD, is he is intentionally palming this up, isn't he? He knows what he's doing in that split second.
If he doesn't, he probably bursts through his fingers. So he does exceptionally well just to palm it up, and then the second attempt is just a simple catch, but the composure to be able to do that is quite exceptional.
Face off, very well bowled. Where did you used to field, and how sharp do the reactions have to be? You literally have a split second here.
Oh, I didn't feel there. That was reserved for the likes of Herschel Gibbs. You know, it's just a brilliant catch. No, I was one of the old men. I stood at slip. That was it. And then walked to the other side and stood at slip, and then walked back again and stood at slip.
I'd say particularly when you're captain, that was you never even moved. An extra on that one from Trumpleman. He's bowled with real pace this evening. It's a fantastic over and a fantastic set of 4. 3 for 23 for the big man with those broad shoulders. 135 for 5.
Protea's won the first test to remind everyone why they are the world test champions.
South Africa 1-0.
But India is ready to level the series. And prove why it is the bounty. RTFC first bag, India versus South Africa. Second test starts 22nd November.
This broadcast is brought to you in association with Vimal Elaichi.
glorious Chobar Hills across to our right. The sun has disappeared. It's lovely Nave. It will be to bowl the final over this first innings. Real surprise for me, JJ Smith's only bowled the one. He looked good out there. He's had a fantastic year for Namibia with the ball. They do have a strong batting lineup, the Lions. If they can close this innings out, particularly keeping him under 150, they'll fancy their chances.
A lot of beaters within their side now, but I still think Rowan Cordell in a chase like this is going to play a big part. Control the run chase. A bit like Babara does.
Take him straight to the man and well held. Lovely Nade doing such a good job. I think again it's the back of the hand, slower the ball. Babara fought ably, did turn the game somewhat. The very latter overs are belonging to the Lions.
Ordinarily, you would think this is a horror delivery, but it is because there's so much pace taken off it that Babara has to wait and wait and wait, and then he just helps it round the corner. And it's a good cash by Nath at short fine leg. But another fine innings from a very fine player. Babara goes for 66. It's 136 for 6.
Inside edge, otherwise that could have been 2 and 2. They get off the mark. He's a canny customer, isn't he? A very clever operator, Gulbany Nave. I thought it was back of the hand at first. I think it's actually the leg cutter.
Yeah, he's got the back of the hand, he's got the leg cutter, and he's got the off cutter. He's mentioned a bit earlier. He doesn't really like go Yorker length. It's the 3 variations, yes. That's definitely the leg cutter.
Leg cutter again. Clocked towards long off. Jordan won't be able to get in there in time. I do feel a bit for Arjun Sen. I think every single game I've ever seen him play, he's batting 1, 2, or 3. He's actually done a decent little job at number 7. Completely different skill set you need, though.
Deepak, and I don't think that, even though Milan hasn't got off to a flyer, I still think they'll carry him, but Dev Kunal will come under pressure with someone like Arasad in the side.
Yeah, just no pace to work with. Into the leg side. And, after you, sir, says Sherimala. Both of them could have got there. Neither of them did.
His apologies all round. Now, I know the Nepalese are just lovely, lovely people, but the sign of a quality fielder is someone who says, that ball is mine. I want the ball. You get out the way. But both sort of say, well, do you want it? I don't want it. Do you want it? And eventually it goes for 4.
Yeah, Dinesh Adhikari and Sherimala have had a moment to forget there. He bowled really well. Sherimala only went for 21 in his 4 overs, but I don't think you'll want to see that replay this evening. Definitely a couple of runs given away. Here comes the final ball of the first innings. What can Sohail Tanvir do with it? Straight to Sandeep Jura, long on, never dropping that. So Nave has 2 wickets in the final over, and despite a resurgence in the final 5 overs, 15 to 18 in particular, that big over from Darcy Short, the last 2 overs of the innings have belonged to that side, the Lumabni Lions, and they'll be the happier of the 2 teams at the halfway stage.
And that's what the Lions would have always been saying to themselves while Zaid and Babara are at the wicket, is that if we dismiss one of these or both, the innings can fade away. And that's exactly what happened. While they were at the crease, 160 was certainly on. But after dismissal of both of them, it's only 142 for 7. That's the not-out batter, Arjun Saud. But Sohail Tanvir is the man that goes for 5. But 142 for 7 is competitive. but I would imagine the Rhinos have got to bowl exceptionally well if they're going to defend us.
Thought it was a well-captained innings, apart from that one little misstep of an over too many for Darcy Short, but it's easy for us to say that after the matter of fact that it's happened. Again, it was Ravi Bopara carrying the hopes of the Rhinos. Safe save, played very elegantly as well when he came to the crease, but he was dismissed by a most wonderful catch, the catch of the tournament thus far by Rohit Patel. And a big mention for the youngster in his early 20s, part of that army of left-arm spinners that are here in Nepal, Abhishek Gautam. He bowled very elegantly. Partnerships, well, it was really all about that one for the fifth wicket. 41 came off 17. Too many dot balls, particularly in those first three efforts where both Deepak and Dev Kanal struggled to get going. Bowlers HT, who stood out for you?
Well, Trumpleman 3 for 23 has got to be the pick of them. I thought that JJ Smith was a little bit unlucky only to bowl the one over, but that tends to happen sometimes when you've got a whole heap of options. Gurbadir Nabi bowled so well effectively at the back end. Don't be fooled by those figures. He bowled two very good final overs.
Yeah, and a word too for Sharmala. Very economical with his mystery spin. Okay, let's get some immediate match reaction. I think Jess Crow has Ruben Trumpleman down with her.
I'm joined here mid-innings by Ruben Trumpleman. Ruben, incredible figures for yourself. 3 for 23, including the dismissal of destructive Ravi Bopara there. What was it like out there?
Yeah, I really enjoyed our first game out here. I think as a team we wanted the fast start and we got that.